Okay, so what you would certainly be justified to ask, does this have to do with, polenta? These potatoes and celery are cooking in this pan. Well, nothing. The peas has something to do with the sauce here a little bit. The polenta has been in the fridge this afternoon, and it's got this odd shape, which I'm going to totally fix before I fry it in what's left from this potato and celery situation. The potato and celery is cooking in butter and oil. It's cooking down. That's going to good old Coco, because this is a healthy addition to her dinner. And the peas, I hope everybody understands something about aseptic technique, so they don't get grossed out by this at all, because they shouldn't be. The peas here are frozen peas. My mother used canned peas, I think with the juice and concentrated tomato paste, from the good old US of A there, Contadina, God knows what kind of a tomato paste it was. But the peas here, I'm just cooking a little bit of butter, warming them up, and getting them ready to put in the tomato sauce. So that's going to be the sauce over the polenta. Is peas and tomatoes, which is traditional. And the polenta itself, though, is not going to be the way my mom made it. It's going to be kind of a fried polenta, fried in butter and oil, as opposed to baked with cheese in it, which is a totally different thing, and we'll cover that on a different day. Okay, so I've put my peas on another burner, and here I've got my polenta going to start to fry. I'm hoping to crisp this up, so I think it's going to be good. Now these guys, they didn't quite burn, but they browned a little bit. They started to sizzle a little bit too much, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because of, I don't know, something goes on chemically. I don't know. I'm not Austin Brown. But I'm going to put this back on the flame when I've got the sauce ready to put on this, the tomato sauce. Okay, we're ready. So that's good. The peas are going to go back on the fire. This is the way mother made it exactly. Passata extra fine, petti. This sauce is unbelievable. It's pure tomato, no spices. It's just the goodness of the tomatoes. It's fantastic. Which is, similar to what you would have. Enough? Yeah, I think so. Which is very similar to what you'd have with, tomato paste combined with canned peas, not fresh peas. So I've got to get over that thing where the tomato paste, the canned peas would contribute some kind of a salty pea flavor from the stuff that was in the cans. But I'm just going to go with this because this is what, is around. These peas and tomato sauce, and that's just going to heat up and bubble around a little bit there. And meanwhile, I'll keep my eye on the polenta. Now, excuse the odd shapes of this. I'm going to fix this in a future video if I can maintain my interest in this project that long. But these came out of the bottom of a pan. That's why they're shaped the way they are. So we're going to this sauce and those polenta pieces fried. Let's see, let's get a spatula off the rack here. See how we're doing underneath. Because really what we want these things to do is get nope, not there yet. I'll get browned up on the bottom. I'll give them a flip. I'm trying to get these things. This is just not the way Mom would have done it, because she would have, made these in the oven, baked it, which is a certain awesomeness to it, but I'm going to add a different awesomeness, I hope. And I think, let's put a little butter in there. Leave that heat where it is. So get this to brown up a little bit. Hey, butter's good. Okay, so here goes our butter. what's that? Not even a tablespoon of butter. So I'm just going to let that settle down in here. And maybe put a little bit more oil just to make sure this doesn't stick. It's on low heat. But this is kind of like, they make so many dishes, refried potatoes and things like that. And look at the butter melting there. And this is a nice olive oil I'm putting on here. I know but the butter is very, very tasty, but when you dilute it with the olive oil, which is very, very healthy, and not bad tasting at all, comes out pretty nice. So, once again, let me plug this olive oil here. This oleo extra virgin. The main thing here that's important is, oh, my God. They don't even have their name on here. Do they? Oh, yeah, at the bottom. Okay, that's the important part there. Frantiolo. I can't read it. Peleristo. That's the family that makes this oil up over the hill here. So, let's see how we're doing here with our browning activity. Nope, not getting brown yet. So let's just go ahead and flip them over. These are polenta slices. And I'm telling you, restaurateurs out there, polenta is not a small deal. It's good. It's very good. It's not expensive. The labor in cooking it nicely is what you have to deal with. So here's our sauce, which is just tomatoes, good quality tomato sauce, okay? And a good quality frozen peas. I should show these peas. You could spice this all up in 1,000 different ways, but this nice sauce on that polenta is going to be good, and there's going to be some cheese involved here. Okay, so this is what I'll call a fixing step. I couldn't manage to videotape this, or to videotape. How dated is that to view this? But I held the polenta down and turned this whole thing up on its side to pour off a little bit of excess oil. I put a little bit too much oil in it, and that oil went into here, the oil and the butter, so that the pan could be a little bit drier, because I'm going for a little brown, crusty look on this polenta. I might not get it this time, but whatever, I'll figure that out. And I don't see how that oil and butter is going to hurt this sauce. Yeah, now peas aren't for everybody, but, you know, they're good, they're healthy. And I'm starting to get a bit nice looking here. Okay, keep it going. Okay, and now we try to plate this up with one hand. So this is my polenta, and you can see here, it's kind of like nice and, it's not super brown, but it's browned. It's holding together like, almost like pieces of fish or something. It's the shape's funny, which is good. It's not bad. So there we go. Have the polenta. Let's turn off that fire before we ruin our pan. And then next goes on, I think, the cheese here. And this is just a pecorino I get from a guy up here named Mario in Tavernelle. It's nice. It's not super aged. It's a little bit aged. Still a little bit soft. It's good. Tasty. And that's maybe more than I needed. And then I think we're going to put on a little bit of, in the spirit of Mamaliga, in the way Teo makes Mamaliga, a little bit of feta cheese. It's this, yeah, it's a real deal. It adds a little bit of saltiness to it. Let's just cut that up there. Pour that on before we put on the sauce here, the final sauce. Okay, wait, I'm going to pause this a second. Okay, so here comes the authentic mommy sauce. Sauce from mom. Except that's not the way she made it. This is with fresh peas and with fresh tomato sauce and no other spices, which is just screaming to be changed a little bit there. And I'm just going to put that on here. I've already put on the feta and the cheese there. So that's looking pretty good. So I think all this is like calling for now. Get out of there. The last little bit of sauce. I think all this is calling for now. Maybe a little bit of Parmesan, just for the heck of it. Why not? 3 cheeses. You need to have things in threes, right? Okay, and here we are with the Parmesan. Some feta cheese here, and the pecorino underneath. It's probably more pecorino than is needed. And there's definitely something to be said for a variation of this with much, much more softer cheeses. But this is what it is. It looks like a pork chop there, a pork chop of polenta. That looks good. Okay, Coco, quit bothering me about this. You're not getting any. Okay, so this is not exactly the same, but has the same basic features. The polenta has got a crispiness to it for frying it, and being able to cook it in butter and oil and things like that, maybe even spices, is a good thing. And this basic sauce, I mean, I know it's going to sound strange to some people, but just tomatoes and peas, nothing else, is a good sauce. And the cheese can't hurt. But the whole texture of the thing, the fact that it's got some cheese in it, and it's got a lot of body to it, you know. I mean, it's like, if you look in there, it's browned underneath there. It's like, I don't know, it looks almost like a fish fillet or something like that. But it's really good. So, what can I say? Try it. Oh, by the way, I should mention that I did not use any salt here at all. I added no salt. So the only salt is what comes in the tomato sauce, which is not too much. And the cheese, of course, cheese they process with salt. I think that's the only salt in it. It doesn't taste salty. You can just taste different flavors. So I like it.